Hello and welcome to today's Morning Report on Tuesday the 17th of May with me, Rich Perry, Market Analyst at Tech Markets. The European session's got off to a positive start and its markets are all around about 1% higher as risk appetite has improved overnight. We had a decent showing through on Wall Street last night, S&P 500 up by 1%. That sort of flowed into the Asian markets and that's continued into the European session as well. We've had the oil price which continues to gain and also the dollar which has started just to drift a little bit, started to correct a little bit back. We've got strong gains on cables, strong gains on the Aussie dollar as well, and the euro slightly higher. Interestingly enough, the risk appetite generally is fairly positive because we've got the dollar yen, which is also sort of moving up towards its sort of recent resistance, comes in at 109.50 area. So we've had some good gains across these markets today, and it'll be interesting to see if that can continue. But certainly we've seen the dollar just starting to just roll over a touch. But one of the other drivers has been this oil price. The oil price shooting high. It's now up and testing that 48.36 mark, which has been the November high. But look at that 50.90 level. That is the key October high. And that is looks as though we're on for a test of that in due course. But the next test, 48.36, is underway as we speak. So really strong moves that we're seeing, positive gains. Risk appetite across the board is looking decent. So what about the the economic announcements today? Well, we've got inflation data dominating proceedings today. We've got the UK and US inflation on the CPI basis. That's UK data is at 9:30, expected to come out at a slight dip to 1.4% actually. On the slight dip to 1.4% on the core year-on-year data, which is just slightly paring back a little bit of the increase that we've seen over the past few months, but still the trend remains on the upside. You've got the US at 130. Again, that's expected just to drop back slightly to 2.1%, and considering the PCE data dropped back last month, this could be sort of an interesting move that the market starts to pick up on. Also at 1:30 we've got the building permits and the housing starts, both of which are expected to improve to 1.13 million. And that's at 1:30. So basically all the US data today is at 1:30. But first of all, we've got the UK CPI, and it certainly looks as though we could have some further volatility on cable at the moment today. So I wish... going to do my chart today now. My chart today is silver. So the silver chart has been slightly correcting actually in the last couple of weeks. As you can see, this downtrend, but the last few days has been started to gain a little bit of traction to the upside as the gold price has also rallied. But it's interesting because it's just sort of had that strong move initially yesterday that fell into the close, and that sort of questions whether we are going to get this sort of renewed breakout to the upside. Now, the momentum indicators are basically just unwinding, and the question is, are they unwinding back to a level at which we're going to find support and push on again, or are they going to be sort of breaking down? Now, I've put this red line in here, which is the sort of basic support around sort of 1680. I mean, to the pip, it's sorry, to the tick, it's 1672 to 1680 is the support. And that is a key level because if you break that, that's a top pattern. On the hourly chart, you can see that that comes through as a big sort of head and shoulders top pattern. You could argue left hand shoulder, head, right hand shoulder. You could see that as being a head and shoulders top pattern. So 1680 is a key level, I think, near to medium term on this chart. All these momentum indicators have unwound and are looking to turn up. Stochastics looking to turn up. And it would be interesting to see if it can break this downtrend. I think obviously yesterday's high, 1739, is initially resistance, but then obviously 1758 beyond that is a key level to to break through. But certainly at the moment, you have a slight creep higher. Nothing too with significant conviction anyway, but certainly I think yesterday's resistance becomes that. Yesterday's high becomes the resistance. So zooming in here, in terms of the momentum indicators, pretty mixed really. Sort of fairly up and down. Nothing too significant because looking at the hourly moving averages as well. They're basically sort of neutral, aren't they? Sort of all come together. So it's a fairly sort of mixed outlook on a near-term basis and on the daily chart as well. So really interesting sort of coming together of these sort of outlooks that we've got at the moment. So we could be approaching a bit of a pivotal time for silver. So I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I'll speak to you later. Thank you.